Happy Thursday. Hi, you guys. Welcome to Cruise with Key. I hate this. This is just dumb, and my hands are small. This is dumb. But welcome to Cruise with Key. It is Thursday, February 29th, 2024. Last day of the month. And I thank y'all for cruising with me every Thursday this month. Y'all came to visit me every Thursday. Thank you for your likes, for your comments, for the new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I thank you for it all. I thank you for it all. I've noticed that I'm getting some new TikTok followers. Probably because I told y'all that I'm on TikTok and I told you my name. Thank you for following me. I know I don't post a lot. I know I don't, but you'll be okay. You'll see me every week on here. um, Yeah, so we're gonna jump right into it because I've already been talking for a minute. And I went to work today and it was busy. I did not want to be there, but I just was like, God, I thank you for my job. That's something that I've learned to do. Like every time I'm frustrated, I just tell God, thank you. Thank you for my job. If I notice some things need to be fixed around the house and I know I can't afford it, God, I thank you for my house. Thank you for providing. Thank you for giving me everything that I need. Um, Got to find a positive in every aspect of your life. In every situation, there's a positive, trust me. Anyway, I titled this Sheesh because I was thinking about what I wanted to title it. And I didn't want it to be part two of my identity that I talked about last week because this is literally part two of last week, but it's like part two of a story that I started that I did not finish. You know what I mean? My whole life really, unfortunately, defined my identity. Um, but thanks be to God that before I leave this earth, I was able to realize that my life does not define me. My childhood does not define me. My adolescent years did, does not define me. The only thing that define me is me, my character, my relationship with God, my relationship with people. What defines you is literally like who you are, who you show up to be. So um I've had quite a few identity crises throughout the years, but um we're not gonna stay there. I remember telling y'all about Mr. and Mrs. Last week, and I said that we could call them grandma and grandma. And then I was saying, you know, living with them after what had happened, living with my cousin, that was very tough. That was a traumatic time for me because how I was treated, like in that home and in school. And so I like fought a lot or whatever. And so instead of them taking me to 609 H Street, they took me to uh, their daughter, who was a foster parent. I don't even remember going, I don't remember going to court either. I was in court a lot. I actually still remember my lawyer name, my judge name, and every social worker except for probably the last one, which is weird because my last home was by far the best one. Thank you, Lord. I did not enter the I did not come out the way that I entered. Hallelujah. In the system. Um, so I told you that I live with them in the city, and then now I'm in Maryland again. I was not the only child that she had. She actually had a child of her own. And then she had me, and then she had another girl. Um, Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm really gonna be honest. I'm really gonna be honest. It's tough to do this, and it's absolutely tough to go down memory lane oftentimes because it's like I put myself in those places. I can see flashbacks and just bear with me. Please and thank you. Um when I moved with her, it was summer. Um uh Summer of 1990, I believe. I was what, 10? So I spent my last year in elementary living with her. Then after I graduated from elementary, I went to middle school. I lived with her. Uh, Not sure if some of you all know, middle school is 2 years, junior high is three. So I did middle school with her, and then high school, 2 years of high school. And believe it or not, I want to say, yeah, I lived with her the longest. That was the longest home I've ever lived in. So from summer before sixth grade and then the middle of 10th. That's a nice little time. That was what, from 10 to 15. From 10 to 15. So yeah, I stayed with her for 5 years, and I went through a lot. Um I don't even know where I don't even know where to begin, but I will say that the reason why I stayed with her the longest was because when I would complain about things that was happening in the home, system failed me. They didn't believe me. Their thing was, not everywhere you go, you're being abused or you being mistreated or something like that. They ain't believe me. Oh, okay. Now, and of course, as I got older, you're gonna do what teenagers and children do. Now, I definitely ain't had no company over there. That wasn't gonna work. Um, but like if I got on punishment for grades or something, and I'm gonna take the phone, lock it in the room. All I'm gonna do is get a butter knife and go. We all done it. Stop playing. Got a little butter knife and went in the room to talk on the phone. I've done stuff like that. I remember one time there was a girl who actually moved in and she was just fly. So me being who I am at high school, I used to steal her clothes, at her shoes one day. One day I got off the school bus and she was right there. It was a lot. Yeah, y'all. So she worked at as a hairstylist. So she wasn't home a lot at all. And the salon was in the city. So she definitely wasn't home a lot. I was more with her daughter, who was much older than me than anything. Um, so I was with her, in the house with her a lot. Um, I was just like abused a lot. She was just mean. She was mean. And of course I had to go to the salon with her a lot in the summer. I mean, like, yeah, in the summer and on the weekends. I actually thought that I was gonna be a hairdresser. I sure did. I was always in the salon. And no, she didn't really do my hair all the time and none of that. I would visit my mom on the weekends. Um, no, I did not. I eventually did. I'm thinking about it. See, I was with her for a minute, but I will say living with her, I met my mom when I was living with her. And I used to be pressed. Um, I went through a lot with school, like even sixth grade. I fought this dude. We was arguing about something and we were wrecking. Like I really, 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 really had a lot of bottled up anger. And at an early age, so around this time, I guess they like, no, you need to talk to somebody because this this fighting in school getting out of hand. But I was just, I guess, a ticking time bomb. So I started to go to therapy. I need to see neurologists. They was trying to see, are you crazy? Um, But I was fine, passed all tests and all that. I'm good. But therapy did help a great deal, which is probably why I enjoy it to this day because I know the effect that it has on me. Might not have an effect on you, but it definitely, definitely, definitely has a huge effect on me. And living in an environment where you're not, I don't even think she's ever said I love you. I don't recall affection at all. It was, I'm trying to think of something, and it's sad, honestly. I'm trying to think of something positive to say. Now she would let me go over my girlfriend house. I had started getting cool with people after a while. There are certain people I started to get cool with. I think I started really been I didn't really have friends in sixth grade. I was only at the elementary school for 1 year and we were leaving, my whole sixth grade. So I didn't really meet anybody there and have friends. But when I got to middle school and you start changing classes and all that, and now I've had a cycle and my body is changing and things. And that was when Jonan really affected me. They tore me up. That's when my face started breaking out. And then living in the city and living in Maryland, two total different things. And it depends on where in Maryland you live because people a little too bougie or stuck up, if you will. Like it's all a fashion show versus the city. I mean, it ain't all like that. We all in the projects for real. I didn't even know Maryland had projects until I think 98, 98, 99. Yeah, I didn't know nothing about no daggone projects. In Maryland? No, I thought they was all in the city. Um, so she would let me chill with some of the friends I started to meet, which was good. I remember going to a sock hop. I was happy, that I was able to do that. School at this point now became my vibe. I mean, they definitely was frying me, but I mean, we switching classes and stuff like that, and you get to know different people, and it became my outlet. Like, what you doing this weekend? You should come over my house. That's when the whole you should come spend the night and all that other stuff started to happen. And so the more I wasn't in that house, the better I was. But there are things that started to even occur when I was with my friends, especially one in particular. Um, that to me was a very verbally abusive relationship. But I feel like, well, she ain't putting her hands on me. You know what I mean? Now that I remember. No, ain't no, not that I remember. She definitely did not. Let me say that. That she could be mean as all outdoors. And I think that it did not affect me as much because she talked to everybody like that. You know what I mean? Like she was just a nasty person. And I could not understand why, you guys, because I'm like, you live with your mother and your father, your sister and your brother, all y'all live in the same household. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how that feels. You're a blast. Man, I'm talking about, I felt like she was so blessed that I got tight with her family. I started to call her mother and father, ma and dad. I really did. I would do her mother hair. I would go to the grocery store with her. And my girlfriend, she'd be like, y'all starting having favoritism. Y'all like her better than me. And it was like, it ain't that. Like, you just mean, you know? And like I said, I took it. But in the house, I couldn't. Thank God for the next door neighbor. I got real tight with her. So where we lived, I got tight with the next door neighbor, but I also was cool with people that lived on the street because again, then I'm a social, kind of sort of a socialite. and I'm getting to meet people, and then you find out what street they live on and stuff like that. So I was able to go outside and stuff. Um, but put it this way, her discipline, for whatever reason, was extremely valid. I remember one time I was on the phone, and I don't think I was supposed to be on the phone. And her daughter came down there. That was when the phones was on the wall. Man, her daughter came down there, took the phone with me, and was like, bop, bop, bop. She started hitting me in my head. Now, I will say this. I was trying to push her, but I wasn't really trying to wreck her because she was big. And I told y'all that I'm short. So I've always been short. And around this time, I mean, I'm a teenager. I think I'm small. Like I wasn't never like this. And I remember I used to call my sister all the time, my younger sister all the time. I will always tell her everything because again, I needed somebody to talk to, and nobody's listening. So, it was just very, very, very valid. The worst thing that happened was when I actually had to run to the neighbors and call the police. That day, actually, I was removed from the home. Oh, God, I thank you. It's sad that I had to go through that. And the police came and I had to lift up my shirt because I was in so much pain. And I'm like, this has been going on for quite some time. And I had to like really show proof. And they was like, yeah, we see a lot of like bruise marks on your chest. And I said, yeah. And the lady, she was tall lady, I'm trying to think of a tall person that y'all know, like that's a lady. I can't think. But we was getting into it about something. Now I've always told y'all I'm not perfect, like at all. Always had sarcastic mouth, sharp mouth, smart mouth. Um, and I remember one time, I don't know if I told y'all that I had got smart in the kitchen. I was like 8 years old. My cousin said something, and we was in the kitchen, and I got smart, and some said "bop," and my tooth came out and fell in the kitchen sink. um, so yeah, I know what it feels like to have a smart mouth. I always had. So if you're on punishment and you're getting chastised or something for a smart mouth, pop me in my mouth. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But getting into it, like physically wanting to fight me, and you a grown woman, and I'm like 15 years old, and I'm short and petite, and you're tall, and you take your foot. I swear to goodness, this lady definitely wore like a 9 to 11. She had to. I'm telling you, she had to. And something happened. I fell down the steps or something. Something happened that I ended up on the second level because it was one level, second level, then a basement. When I tell y'all that I ended up on the floor, someone smiled on the floor. I think because I was like, at this point, I'm fighting back. I'm 15. I'm a little older. You can't keep, what I'm saying, putting your hands on me. That's not going to work. I'm not a child. And I think we were just getting into it, and then I fell, and she took it upon herself to take her foot and stomp it on my chest. Oh my God, today, when I tell you that I tumbled down them steps and ended up in the basement, and I could not stop crying. Oh my gosh. I thought that she literally knocked the wind. Oh Jesus, I thought that I was going to die. When I tell you I thought I was going to die, I never felt nothing like that before. Yeah, y'all, punch me, punish me, knock me upside my head with phones, douche you know what I'm saying? I've gone through quite a few foolishness over there. I finally got myself together. I went to the neighbors. Police was like, let me see. Boom, 609 H Street. Here I go again with all of my things in a green crack trash bag. That's literally every time I tell you that I went to 609 H Street at the Department of, what is it? Department of Child and Human Services? I think I'm saying it right, y'all. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments. Tell me what it is. DHS. I think Department of Human Services, but it's Child and Family Human. I don't know. I ain't there no more. But yeah, every time I've told you that I was there, everything, my belongings was in a green trash bag. Like I've never like had luggage and stuff. Shout out to my friends, my circle, my sisters, my family for actually surprising me with some luggage last year for my birthday. It was an early birthday present. So if they only knew how much that means to me. Um yeah, y'all. I really went through a lot in that jump, but I got removed, but they didn't know where to, there was nowhere for me to go at that time. It's definitely hard to place a 15-year-old. Um, and I was angry. I was like, I've been telling y'all, yada yada. So the girl that I told y'all that I was real cool with and I would spend the weekends with. And I couldn't go live with my mother because by this time I'm in 10th grade. Met my mother what? Eighth grade. Eighth grade. So I couldn't, the judge wasn't having that. So my girlfriend and her parents let me stay with them. So I could still, stay in the same school, all this other stuff. But um I couldn't because they did not want to become, so when you are awarded a court, in order for you to live with anybody, it has to be a family member, or it has to be like a licensed, foster parent. And so they didn't want to go through the whole, once you find out all the stuff that you got to go through, they was like, I ain't about to do all that. And they was apologetic, but I was like, it's okay. I cannot wait to tell you. Young, like, I'm smiling, even though I can internally feel hurt. I can feel my chest beating a little funny. Um, but I'm smiling because I'm like, oh God, I thank you. I'm just thankful that I still have breath in my body. I thank God that I did not die. Like nobody has control over my death but God. And I honestly feel like she wanted to take me out. I think that she was angry that I finally stepped up, for me. And that was not okay for her. I stand 10 toes on that. I do. That's no pun intended. um, and no, that wasn't okay at all under any circumstances. Is physical or verbal abuse from anyone is okay. You should never get used to it um ever. Um, but I can smile because I made it through it. I can smile because it could have been worse. See, you got to understand that things really could have been worse. I've gotten in fights, three of them while living with her. One in front of my house, one down the street, two of them down the street, one in front of my house. Yeah, neighborhood fighting. I don't think I've ever fought in school. There was another time I could have fought too, but it was like three girls that knocked on my door. I'm not about to open that and I'm in here by myself. Oh no, I called my sister like she could come rescue. Ah, woo. I have gotten jumped. That's when I said one down the street, two sisters jumped me, but it's all good. Again, I live to tell the stories. And I thank God that I don't look like what I've been through. I thank God that I don't treat people the way that I've been treated. I thank God that All of the great qualities about me comes from what I've experienced. I cannot imagine being abusive to anybody. Now, have I hit somebody? Yeah, multiple times. That don't make it right. But that doesn't mean that I'm abusive. I just couldn't imagine being abusive to somebody. I couldn't imagine, let alone a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, some of these children, they reckless out here, but I wasn't. I can't stress enough that when you have children in your life, you have to pay attention, let alone a foster child. You have to know who you're getting. You already getting a very fragile package. Handle with care. It says it on the label. Fragile. Handle with care. I feel like any child that experienced what I did, and if you were a good foster parent and you read the file, then you will be like, oh, this is a little different. You know, this one, she'd have been through some stuff. I'm gonna have to, make sure you straight. But I also think a part of her was like, man, my parents already told me how she was fighting in the home and in school. So I'm gonna make sure she knows she ain't about to come in here like that. Yeah, but I've never disrespected, your parents, never thought about putting my hands on them. I was what, fifth grade. So it's like a lot of things just happen so early, just so early. But I I treat people the way that I want to be treated, you know. Um, I forgive easy, I love hard as heck. I love so hard. Um, I care a great deal. And I'm very thoughtful. I'm very giving. I'm a sweetheart. And it's crazy because I ain't grow up in environments like that. How did you get like that? And I always tell people, to God be the glory. I am not my own. Bible says you are not your own. You were brought with a price. Okay. And the price that he paid for this life is he died on the cross for me and you. Um, so I don't take it lightly. I went through a lot, but I don't take my life lightly at all, because when God said that I will never leave you nor forsake you, regardless of what I went through, he never left me. He never forsake me. I've always had clothes on my back, food on my table, roof over my head in these situations. Now, it's so much. It's so much. It's so much. Because even saying those things, it's like, okay, no, wait a minute. There were times when you ain't had no roof over your head now. There are times you didn't have no food on your table now. Hold on now. But it's all good. Look, y'all, I hope that you were able to follow where I was going. This was tough, so it was very hard to be as detailed, and it's going to be way more detail in the book, but it's just a story about yet another thing that I endured, which caused me to be the way that I am. You know what I mean? It's like tell the truth Thursday, you know. So I'm gonna end it there, and I will bring it back. I'll bring it back next week, though. Thank you so much for cruising with Key today. Have an amazing Thursday evening, if you will. I am tired. When I look like this, that's because I was up at 5 o'clock. I was in the parking garage at work at 6:20 a.m. And I came home. I let my laptop charge up, and I am like pretty much, I try not to like be on the phone and stuff like that. I want to be tuned in and ask God to just guide me in the way that I should go. So I knew that I needed to tell that story. Excuse me. So you can see I am tired. My eyes look glossy. Flossy. Oh, excuse me. Flossy, glossy, possy. What was it? Flossy possy? Yeah, girl trip. And this light, thank you, Jesus, for this light. Can y'all see it? See, that's what I get. That's what I get for messing with stuff. That's exactly what I get. But that light helps this as well. So when my eyes look glossy, no, I wasn't bawling before I came on here. No, I wasn't doing things that I really don't do at all. I don't even have a sip. I don't do nothing that's going to cause me not to be extremely sober with you all so that I can be open and so that I can be truthful and that I can hear God's voice, because I'm not doing this by myself. He's guiding me along the way. I pray that He give me the words to say when I don't know what to say, you know. Um, Cast your cares upon me because I care for you. So I give it to Him to help me out. So trust me, I'm always sober. Now, will I have a little wine with y'all sometimes? We might just, but you can always see me with a bottle of water or a cup and it's going to have some water in it because that's what I love to do, drink water. So drink water, mind your business, enjoy the last day of February, and I pray that you have an amazing weekend. Okay. I love you. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe. Yes, share too. Bye.